Hello everyone, how are you guys doing? This is your educator Shruti and welcome to our channel Biology Nerds. Today I'm going to deal with the reproduction in organism chapter, which is of class 12, and we are going to deal with it in detail. But today we are going to study the basics of the reproduction, the needs and everything, the requirement. So before we move any further, I want you guys to hit that subscribe button here, somewhere here on the screen. No, not on the screen, down below. On the side of our channel name there is a subscribe button, because that is important, because the next series is going to be about the whole chapter, and not only this chapter, I'm going to cover all the units of the 12th class biology, as well as chemistry, as well as physics. So if you want to be with us, if you want to support us, if you like our teaching, then please don't forget to like to this video and hit that subscribe button. So without any further ado, I would say let's begin. So the reproduction in organisms, we are going to study first of all the basics of reproduction. Okay, so this is, as you know, it's a class 12th CBSE chapter 1, and it is very important to study. Why? Because most of the students think that it is a very easy chapter and they don't take it very seriously, but I must tell you, the easiest chapters or the easiest subjects which you take for granted are going to cost you very good amount of marks in your board exam. Let's begin. First of all, please tell me, what is the meaning of immortality? This is an image of a tetrahymen. Tetrahymen is a unicellular organism which is known to be immortal, which means it never dies, unlike humans. Why? Because are humans immortal? I don't think so. Well, because as you can see in this image, this grandma, all the wrinkles on her hands, this shows that she is on her ending days. The skin cells are dying. This means we humans are not immortal. Then if we are not immortal, then what do you think is the average age of human beings? Well, let's find out. Okay, so as we know that humans are not immortal, and as the studies have shown, 79 years is the lifespan of human beings. Listen again, 79 years is the lifespan of human beings. What does that mean? What is the meaning of lifespan? Well, that's an interesting term. Let's find out. Well, lifespan, if we look on it, it's a time period between your birth till your death. I mean, if we say that a person uh, dies at the age of 80 years, then we say that the lifespan of that particular person is 80 years. Why? How I calculated? It's the time period between the birth till the death. Okay, moving on. So 79 years, we can say that is the lifespan of humans. Similarly, there is lifespan of all the organisms which we humans have calculated. So let's find out what are these various lifespans, because this is also given in your NCERT. This is the lifespan table of various organisms. What it shows? It shows dogs, horses, elephants, rose, cows, banyan tree, banana tree. Okay, so here we can say that, for example, dogs can only live up to 10 to 13 years. That's sad. They should be immortal actually. Okay, so horses, they live up to 25 to 30 years. Okay, elephants, there are two types of elephant: Asiatic elephants and African elephants. Both have different lifespan. One can live up to 48 to 50 years, one can live up to 60 to 70 years. Roses have lifespan of 35 years, cow 18 to 22. Similarly, the oldest tree we can consider is the banyan tree, which can live up to 309 years. Oh my god, that's a way too much of age. Okay, what does it depicts to us? It depicts that no matter the size of an organism, for example rose, which is very tiny as compared to what do we say, banyan tree, it's a tree of course, and it's a plant, rose. Okay, so no matter the size, the lifespan can be either higher or lower. Okay, so this is the whole chart. Moving on. Now, these are some interesting facts which I have included for you again for your answer framing, because if you frame your answer in an interesting way, putting out the facts in there in your answer sheet, then the examiner is going to be very impressed from you. So, the interesting facts is quacking aspen and great basin bristle and great basin bristle, these are the two, you can say, tree which are these are the two trees which are known to be the oldest. First of all, let's talk about this pretty looking yellow quaking aspens. These are the bunch of trees, as you can see. If you will see from here, you'll say that these are the bunch of trees in a forest. But no, my dear, I must tell you, this is a whole single individual. The roots of all these trees are connected and the origin is one. So, what we concluded that this is whole organism single unit, and it's living up to 80,000 years and is still living. You can see that, but it is dying because of various reasons, environment being the most major one. And the another one is great basin bristle. This is also an oldest organism which is living around 5 millennials. Okay, so these are the some quick facts. Moving on to our main topic, reproduction. What does reproduction means? We are studying it from our very younger age, from our 6th 7th class. What reproduction is, re means again, and production means to produce something. Okay, so these are the basic things that everyone knows. So the definition which we must learn is, it is a biological process in which an organism give rise to its young ones. Very important point. Okay, or we can say that it's a biological process by which new organisms are produced from pre-existing ones. What does this mean? Reproduction is always a process in which the old organism will give rise to a new organisms. Okay, you cannot say that if I invented something today, I will call it a reproduction. No, my dear. Reproduction is always the thing which which you produce from a old thing, and it's a natural process. It occurs in nature naturally. Nobody forces it. Okay. Okay, so it says that all organisms on earth are results of reproduction only. What does this mean? This means that all the organisms that are present, everything is made up of reproduction. Everything is a product of reproduction, as you can say. Okay, so why is this saying so? Because the as we studied that the reproduction is the production of something new from the old one, and this is a process which takes place in the living organisms. This is how they grow. So that's why all the organisms on the earth are result of reproduction process only. Also, it says that it's a fundamental process. What does fundamental process means? Well, fundamental process means the processes that are the essential part of an organisms, without which the organism is not going to survive. Okay, so these are the basics of reproduction, which I hope that everyone understood. Let's move on to the next slide. Next question which arises is, what is the need for reproduction? Why do we waste so much amount of energy for reproduction? Even in some species, some species, the animals, they die in order to reproduce, as you must have studied. So what is the need for reproduction? Why is an organism wasting so much amount of time, energy, and even their life for reproduction? Well, let's find out. What is the need for reproduction is, reproduction is necessary to ensure the continuity of the species by passing their genes from one generation to next generation. Very important term, continuity of species. What does this mean? This means that if a species, for example Homo sapiens, has to continue from years to years to years, then it has to reproduce, because there is no other way. Why? Because we are immortal, we will die one day. If our children are not present on the earth to pass on our genes, then the whole species will die. Next point says, we can say that successful reproduction is one of the sole purpose of a species. Of course, because when this reproduction is successful, this will ensure that their genes have successfully passed on to the next generation. So this is the sole purpose of a species. Okay. Next point says, without reproduction, life will come to an end. Of course, as I said, we are not immortal, we are mortal, we are going to die one day. If we do not reproduce, if we do not give rise to our young ones, if none of the species, none of the organism give rise to their young ones, one day the whole life on the earth will end and there will be no species present on the earth. Very drastic, isn't it? Proper functioning of an ecosystem depends upon the rate of the reproduction of its organism. So, what does this mean is that the reproduction rate is very important for the functioning of an ecosystem. All these points are related. This point also says that if the reproduction is not present, if the reproduction is very slow, at very slow rate, which this will means that the balance in the ecosystem, balancing of the species will not be there. I hope that you understand this point. Next point says, reproduction is necessary to carry genes of one organism to next generation. Similar point means that to carry the genes, I carry the genes of my father, and my father carries the genes of my grandfather. So this is the you can say the hereditary is passing on the genes, passing on the characters to the next generation. I hope this point is clear. Next point says, factors affecting reproduction. We studied what is reproduction and what is the need for reproduction. Now here comes the factors that affect the reproduction. Why? Because whenever a process is going on in nature, there is always the inhibitors that will try to stop that process. Because it is also very important, the inhibitors are not a bad thing. Inhibitors ensure that the process is happening in a appropriate rate, it is not over exceeding. Okay, so the factors that affect the reproduction mainly are the environmental factors. There are some species which require a proper environment, or you can say the proper climate or proper season for reproducing. There are many species in the on the earth that do this step. Okay, so next one is age of organisms. Of course, because taking the examples of humans, there is a certain age up to which a female can reproduce, after which she becomes infertile. So the age of organism is also very important factor in the process of reproduction. Next thing is internal physiology of an organism. This means that the hormones which are affecting the gametes formation and everything in multicellular organisms, this is also very important. This also plays very important role in the process of reproduction. We will know what is gamete formation and what I'm talking about in the next videos. So you have to stay with me. In order to stay with me, you have to click that subscribe button. Moving on, the hormones, of course, as I said, hormones also play very important role in the process of reproduction. So I hope that everything is clear to you. If not, if something is doubtful, you can also comment in the chat box so that I can reply to your doubts. Moving on, reproduction is mainly studied under two subtypes. There are two subtypes of the reproduction. First one is asexual reproduction and the second one is sexual reproduction. We all know what asexual and sexual reproduction means, but studying them a little bit in detail, what asexual reproduction means, when only one organism is involved, means that the gametes formation does not take place here. What is gamete formation? We will study in detail in the future videos. So what is written, only one organism involved in the reproduction of new offspring. When only one parent can give rise to the offsprings, then that process is called asexual reproduction. But when sexual reproduction involves, here two organisms are necessary, which we call parent organisms. These two organisms will give rise to the offsprings. Okay, so these are the basic difference between asexual and sexual reproduction. With this, we come to the end of the slide. If you like the video, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button and join my Telegram group. The description is given in the box. And don't forget to hit that bell icon so that you know when is the next video of this reproduction topic coming. I will be uploading this video, next video soon. So till then, take care and bye bye.